At the end of episode 36 of Word of Honor, everything falls apart. Wen Kexing's hair turns white overnight, an unmistakable sign of sacrifice, as he gives up everything to save Zishu from dying. And just like that, the story seems to move on. The scene shifts to what looks like Shenzhuang, where an older Chengling is calmly telling his disciples the legend of Zishu and Wen Kexing, as if it's all already over. They're soon called away by Gao Xiaolian, Gao Chong's daughter, and the episode closes on something almost ordinary. A quiet dinner, a peaceful ending. But let's be honest, that doesn't feel like an ending, does it? Because it isn't. What many people don't realize is that Word of Honor actually continues in episode 37, a hidden epilogue that's only 7 minutes long. The first half is soft and nostalgic, with the actors behind Wen Kexing and Zishu singing over a montage of memories. But it's the final 3 minutes that change everything. We see a young boy practicing martial arts, struggling to get it right. Zishu steps in, gently guiding him, telling him to trust himself, to be confident in his movements. And then, suddenly, another voice cuts through the moment. You need to be flexible in your strokes. You're misguiding him. And there he is, Wen Kexing, alive, white-haired, but unmistakably himself. The two of them fall back into a familiar rhythm, sparring lightly, almost playfully, like nothing was ever broken between them. It's easy, it's natural, it feels real. The boy's father eventually calls him home, grounding the moment in something tangible. And then we see it, the two of them, together, on that quiet, snow-covered mountain. Now, some people argue that this is all just a hallucination, that Zishu, unable to cope with the loss, imagined Wen Kexing still being there. But that explanation starts to fall apart the moment you look closer. If Wen Kexing were truly gone, how could the boy's father see him too? How could he casually reference a shared past, mentioning that they had fought together for a lifetime? That's not something you hallucinate. That's something that exists. And then there's YAOI. Back in episode 36, he transfers his energy to Wen Kexing and quietly says, "Thank you." It's a small moment, but it carries weight. Because within the logic of the 6 Yin manual, cultivation always demands a price. But that price isn't always death. Sometimes, it's something just as brutal. Every tendon in your body tearing apart, your hair turning white overnight, your entire existence reshaped. Survival isn't impossible, it's just costly. With YAOI's energy, the yin-yang book, and everything Wen Kexing had already endured, the pieces are there for him to live through it. Even Chengling's explanation supports this. He makes it clear that if a person doesn't die immediately from the overwhelming energy, what follows is physical destruction, not death. Torn tendons, white hair, a body pushed to its limit, but still alive. And then there's that visual detail most people miss. In the transition scene, the snowy mountain stands behind the newly rebuilt CG Manor, the same place that was once burned to the ground. It's no longer distant or symbolic. It's real, reachable, part of the same world. Which means that final scene isn't some abstract afterlife or dreamscape. It's a place they can actually be. And maybe that's the point. Not a loud, dramatic reunion, not a perfectly wrapped up ending. Just two people who went through hell, finding a quiet way to exist together again.